We're gonna call this the trickery of the devil. I just wanna let y'all know, my story. I think everything happened for a reason. So just gonna have a little discussion with you guys and let you know some of the stuff going on out here if you're not aware. I know everybody is aware of, most people is aware of the Travis Scott situation, and it was a demonic ritual at that concert, and it was pretty weird that people just was dying and fainting and just all the weird stuff that was going on with that. And trust and believe, it's a lot more to come, a lot more evil things that are going to happen in the near future. But one of the struggles that I want to talk about that I've been dealing with was the marijuana, Mary Jane. And I'm a person who used to smoke weed. I enjoyed it. I really liked it because I used to be by myself, and when I'm by myself, when I smoke weed, if it made me feel like I was just in a great situation, because I can entertain myself with my thoughts and stuff like that. And I wound up getting a medical card, and I thought that was the route for me. But as time progressed, the Lord showed me that that wasn't the right thing for me. And for a while, I'm talking about years, I didn't want to accept it. I continued to smoke. I thought it was, it was okay. I wasn't hurting nobody. Why is it a problem if I smoke? And then, a funny thing about when I used to smoke, I used to think about God. So it was kind of confusion. But in the back of my mind, every time I used to smoke, I did have a feeling that I was doing the wrong thing. So we're gonna fast forward up to date to now, where I just I had to let it go. It was too many signs showing me that this was just another tool that the devil used to trick you and send you to hell. So these last few months, I had decided that I was going to stop. I finally, put it in my mind that I was going to quit. And I was struggling to let it go. I say I'm gonna stop for a couple of days and start back. But God started, doing things to help me. I believe to help me, get away from it. One, my throat used to feel a little sore and from smoking so much. I used to smoke, I can't count how much. And I also used to grow, so I had plenty. And I just got rid of I got it all out the house today. I had to get rid of all of it, because it's a darkness that comes with this Mary Jane. And everybody's not gonna recognize it or feel it, because it's not meant for them too. They're meant to go to hell. So they're not gonna feel it, see it, or even know it, because I just feel like God already know who his chosen people is. He knew while you were in the womb that who his chosen people was. And I knew in my heart that God was working with me, and I knew eventually I would let it go. So, I eventually got there. And, that's me talking to you today. And I think partly reason why I went through what I went through is to help some other people. To help them, recognize that marijuana that's not the right route to go. You don't want to do nothing that everybody else is doing. Everybody is smoking. Everybody and their mama smoke weed right about now. It's being promoted as, the good thing to do, But I'm telling you, it's not. I got a friend who, he used to smoke weed. And what made him stop smoking weed, he hasn't smoked weed in probably 15 to 20 years. And I had asked him a long time ago, what made him stop? And he said he saw somebody in the back seat of his car. And he said that's what made him stop smoking weed. Because he saw something. And this is a very smart guy. Very smart, intelligent guy. And he let it go, and he don't smoke no more. So, something about what was going on with me, what I started noticing, because it just started. I wasn't seeing the stuff that I'm recently seeing now, that I was seeing, a few days ago. When I used to smoke, I was seeing, when I would smoke, I would see like it was like a dark, like this little dark, they call it dark matter. I don't know, some of you guys may not be aware of CERN. It's a collider that's this big machine that's in Switzerland. And they pulling dark matter out of from wherever they're getting it from. It's basically a demonic energy force. It's basically demons. So I happen to start seeing this little dark stuff moving around me. I knew it wasn't like it wasn't like a physical form. I could tell it was something from the other side. So it's not really visible, but it was visible to me. So I felt God was showing me some stuff. He was showing me that what I was doing was pulling out this dark matter, and it started to hang around me. I remember one day I'm going in the house, and I saw something run in the house behind me. It was like a little dog or something, like on four legs, but I knew it was what I thought it was. This spiritual type of thing. And I was starting to come to conclusion what was going on. It's like, okay, I'm becoming more aware that I shouldn't be smoking. And every time I would smoke, when I come to the house, I would start seeing this dark matter. And it's like, it's in my house. But I wasn't scared of it because, even though I was, sinning, I know a lot about the word and how God works. So I wasn't afraid of it. I'm not afraid of nothing, pretty much. The only thing I'm afraid of is God, because that's the only person that can actually, you know, send you to hell. I'm not afraid of dying, but I know there is something after you die. You know, that's not it. Your spirit never dies. So that spirit is for eternity. It never dies. Even when you go to hell, that spirit is still going to be burning. And from what I'm understanding, he say all the people that's doing wrong, they're gonna go to hell for, and they're gonna burn and be tortured for such a long time. But it doesn't say it's gonna last forever, but it's gonna be like forever. But that shows you right there in the word that still that spirit never dies. It can be tortured, but it's still going to be there. It's nothing that could stop the existence of that spirit. And that's powerful right there. So the thing about this weed also, okay, like I say, I had a weed card, and I used to go to the dispensaries, and a lot of the people, the bartenders, not all of them, but a few of them that worked there, and a lot of them was women. I'm not sure if the men were warlocks, but the women, a lot of the women that work there, they're witches. And you know, one of them actually wear the witch outfit, and another, it was a nice looking girl. Well, it was a few of them that I met. I mean, one young lady, she had all this different stuff on her hands, and you know, tattoos and all this different stuff. So I was like, so what does all that mean? What that stuff mean that's on you, like those symbols? And she said, I'm a witch. And I'm like, wow. And another dispensary I was at, it was a nice looking, I mean, this girl was beautiful. I mean, you know, looks doesn't really mean nothing when you're gonna burn in hell. But this young lady, she was very attractive. And she was sitting at the counter messing with the tarot cards. And I'm like, wow. I can't believe it. But anybody dealing with tarot cards, you better stay far away from them. But if you believe in God, you'll be okay. It's for those who don't. So that leads me to another situation. I mean, I have so many different things that happen to me in my life that I know that this stuff is real. You know, a lot of people don't believe, but this stuff going on out here is real. I had back in the day, this lady told me about a man who would give different people lottery numbers. So one day I was in my car and I heard this guy, he came off as like a preacher, but he wasn't a preacher. He was actually a warlock. And how I know is because I called him and I was like, hey man, why don't you give me some winning numbers? And when I was talking to him, he was like, I can't remember exactly what he said that first time I called him, but I wound up hanging up, and I researched what he was, and it told me that, you know, this guy was a warlock, and how you can open up portals, and, you know, once you open up that can of worms, you can't close it. So this particular guy, he's dead now from what I heard. He died about 3 years ago. I can't think of his name, but he have some people working for him. I heard he owned a whole block in New York. So I guess some other people took over it. But this particular guy, he would continue to call me, you know, all up until about a year. You know, I would, you know, not talk to him or whatever, and you know, he just kept calling, and I finally told him I didn't want to have nothing to do with him. But I remember this one particular time that he called. I was at work, and he was like, "You need some money, don't you?" And he gave me a lottery number. It was a 3-digit. And I called a few people that I know that play the lottery, and I even told them the number. And, you know, they didn't play it. Because one thing I learned, if something like this type of stuff, if it's not meant for you, you won't get it. It's not for you, so you won't get that. Whatever it is that's meant for somebody else. Because I told some people about it, and they didn't play the number. But to make a long story short, I played the midday, and it didn't come out in midday. And when I went home, you know, the Holy Spirit told me that, you know, I'm playing with Satan. You know, the devil comes to rob, steal, and kill. You know, he comes to deceive you. So anything from him is going to eventually be bad. So he wound up, you know, the number that he told me, to make a long story short, it came out. The number did fall out. The number he told me to play, the number came out. But I didn't play the lottery. What I did, I went home and repented. I asked God to forgive me, and I told him, hey, forgive me for this. You know, I love you more than I love money. I choose you over money. So the guy called me later. He said, yeah, I know you hit that number. I said, no, I didn't. I ain't play it. So to say that is to say that you can sell your soul. You can get riches if you choose to go to that dark side and get that dark side help to help you, you know, get money, whatever it is that you want. There is an entity that you can tap into to get whatever it is you want. I know, I have experience, I've seen it, I lived it, but I chose not to roll with that source, and I will never roll with that source. So you got to be careful out here. It's evil and it's good, and I always knew that there's a dark side and it's a light side, and we all got choices. You can choose to be on the right side, or you can choose to be on the dark side. But there is a price to pay. There is a price to pay. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about this marijuana thing. Oh, and another thing about the marijuana. Like I say, I used to grow it. So the ingredients to grow marijuana, to make it grow big, the stuff that they sell at the stores, if you read the ingredients on the box, the stuff that's in the stuff that makes the marijuana grow is wicked. They even have like warlocks and evil little things that represent that wickedness, like it's like bats, some portion of a bat, worms, all type of nasty type of things. It's all in that marijuana grow stuff to help it grow. And the stuff smells so bad. I'm talking about it smells like super shit. So that was another thing that I saw that was going on with this marijuana. So it's bigger than what you think it is. This marijuana has a lot of bad influence on people, and you know, it seems like it's something that's okay, but in the end it's going to be something bad. And recently I just saw on the news, they said that marijuana now is causing for people to have schizophrenia. It's bringing out schizophrenia. And if you know what schizophrenia is nothing but spirits that's on you, and you're seeing things and you're going through things, and it's because of the marijuana. So those things was, all this different stuff was starting to show me that that wasn't where it was at. And I feel so good to finally completely have letting that go out of my life. I mean, it's been over 20 years of smoking, and I smoked almost every day. Out of a year, I may have missed 2 or 3 days in a year of not smoking. Each year you can count, maybe. But some years I smoked the whole year, every single day, no days off. So to finally be able to let that go, I mean, it feels so good to be able to be free from it. The money aspect, the health aspect, and the spiritual aspect, because, you know, I'm a person who's here to help enlighten people that wants to go in the right direction. And how can I preach or tell people how to do the right thing if I'm smoking weed? I remember talking to somebody a few weeks ago about that jab and, you know, spiritual things and stuff like that. And the first thing they said was, "You smoke weed." And I said, I knew you was going to say that. And I said, that's the reason why eventually I'm going to stop. Is because how can I preach or try to help people and I'm smoking? I know that's the first thing they're going to bring up, because it wasn't a secret that this is what I did. I didn't hide it. You know, it was up front. That's something that I did. But I always believed in God. But I would smoke weed. But to smoke and try to help others and lead them in the right direction, it's like, how are you going to lead me? You got to lead by example. So I'm just saying, today is that day that I finally let go completely of it. And I tell you, one of the things that really helped me bring it to an end was fasting. Fasting is a powerful thing. You might want to look it up, find out why it's so powerful, but I'm telling you, fasting is one of the best things you can do to get rid of demonic and evil spirits around you. Thank you guys for tuning in, and listening. I just hope that, maybe this message just get to one person. If it get to one person and they hear it and it helps them, hey, I did my job. And just believe, it might not happen overnight for you to quit, but through, first you gotta have it in your mind. That's what you want to do. Because I remember it like yesterday. I said I was never gonna stop. Never. So I'm in a new situation, and that's no longer how I feel, and I'm happy that I don't do it anymore. And now I can help spread the word on what's going on with it. And why you think they made it legal? Everything that's going on that's evil is now, the right thing to do. Everything that was bad is now considered good. And then it's another thing that lets you know that it's something that's not good. It's something that everybody does. Most people are not going to make it. Most people will die and burn in hell. The majority of people will not go. So whatever the majority is doing, don't think just because of the majority is doing it that it's okay. If the majority of people is doing it, it's a good chance it's the wrong thing. So till then, I'm gonna have to go. And like I said, I hope this message really, touched somebody, and it gets to you, and maybe my experience will let you know that smoking weed isn't where it's at, and eventually it might come to your demise. Thanks you for listening. Until next time, guys, take it easy.